I have it all emptied out now. The leak is way up on there. Don't know if this phone's going to get it or not. Too many lights on the sea to choose from. I don't know, we'll get the one. Why is the phone not getting it? I'll change hands here. It's way up on there, now the leak. So I reckon, see the rust? It's the water coming down the chimney. There's rust at the top. I said the probably rust, you know. Oh, the fucking steel them there, they're not rusty, says. Oh, look, it's rusted now. It's just pissing out here. I'm relying on this roses container. It's falling up pretty quickly. So if it goes all night, there's going to be a flood here in the morning. All I can hope for is no water getting in to replace that water getting out, but I cannot see a stop valve to stop water getting in. I'll look YouTube now. But see, every plumber plumbs things differently. But you think they're bound to know someday the boiler's going to leak. They need an on-off valve on somewhere. I'm still trying to decide how the water's getting in. But think about it, I'll get me done now. I'm missing a cinema tonight. The film playing, I booked to see the film playing. You can't see a film twice, so I'll not see the film playing now. I'm missing out on that. What can I do? I get fed now. Think about it. What has happened to my tank? There's a bit of rust at the top. The rain coming down the chimney has rusted the top, and the water is leaking from the top down through all these boilers. It's coming in pretty quick now, like. The wee container's going to fill up. All I can get in there is a roses container. It's filling up fast. No on-off, no off valve up in the attic to turn it off. That pipe in the attic is overflow, basically overflow pipe. Both pipes that heat up, the water goes under the floor. I've looked at it now. I cannot see a feed pipe that's separate that I can cut off to stop the water getting into that boiler.
A symphony of discovery.
So I turned the pump off and I hope that to stop any water getting in. So we'll see how long this leaks for. If it's still a leak by the time I go to bed, I don't know.
She was born in the city of Łódź, L-O-D-Z.
See what happens. My living room's a right mess now. This is the contraption I come up with. The boiler's leaking here at the back. The majority of the water I can catch with the gutter. But see, it's not actually falling into the gutter. The leaks are way up high. Some of it's going to top gutter, some of it's going to bottom gutter, and a wee bit, in fact it's quite a bit leaking by there now. It's getting worse there, you know. I was getting most of it, but maybe a wee bit of readjustment there. So the most of it is coming off in here, but this pump, that's one of them submersible pumps, gotten little, ain't working right. It's not accurate. When it's on the bottom, it's not switching off. The main problem, I put on this cable tie to try and get the turn off, to get the angle right, ain't working right. So the only thing I'll come up with now, I'm going to get the cable tie now, and I'm going to jam this pump up so it's on all the time. It's a wee ball inside. If I jam it up all the time, I put it onto one of them smart sockets over there now, and I've set my phone to put it on for 1 minute every 2 hours. So any water that pumps in there will run out in every 2 hours. And cables everywhere. It's unbelievable. I'm using scraps, bits of gutter. I drilled a hole in my floor to run the pipe outside. And the hole's a bit big. So I'm getting a new Wonder one anyway. So I drilled out the floor and run the pipe outside of the water. Because this could be like this for a couple of weeks. But I'm hoping that after a day or two the tank will empty. I don't know how the water's getting in, but eventually the water empty and then I won't have to do nothing. I can leave it the summertime. If it's still dripping by a week's time, I'm going to rip out that fireplace. And I say, I'll take the fireplace away altogether. I'll knock down the chimney brace. And, but that's a summertime job. Easter at the earliest. And I'm going to see get the roofing all patched up once I take the chimney away. So that's what I've got to now, like. This is a mess. I'm trying bricks and everything. Trying to get this pump. I spent an hour trying to get this pump to work right. It's just not accurate. So I have it on the phone now in the smart thing. I'm going to get the cable tie now. I'm going to tie this up permanently. And then once it's on permanently, the smart plug over there will turn this on for 1 minute every 2 hours. And hopefully that'll get it out. I'll empty that wee bowl in there, the roses bowl, because that's getting the wee bits that's missing this gutter. But that's how bits of gutter come off the sister's house. She got new gutters on. And you don't throw nothing out. You don't know what's going to come in handy. This is out of focus. So it's on focus now. Not many people have to do this, is there? And the best of it is, I turned the water off of the pump, and now the stupid valve will turn the water off of the pump's leaking as well. There's my hot press now. I turned the water off there, and it's got a wee leak. Would you believe it, like? But look how quick it's filling up. I say I'm going to get a wee span and try and tighten it, but I spent that much time trying to get the gutters and all going the other one. What good's that like? It sits there for years, and the moment you want to turn it off, it leaks. It's the leak. All I had to do was just tighten that there wee bit, that end sprocket. I tightened it with the vice grips. Took seconds. It's just getting the time to do it. Got the vice grips, put it on there, and just give it a wee turn clockwise. That's all it needed. That's it. Even that one there leaks slightly. See the wee damp patch. So I'll give that a wee turn now when I'm at it. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday night now, like. See, that's one problem solved, don't I? See, the water's going to be like a... See the water everywhere, I tell you. I had the heating on. That water there, that pipe is warm there. That's cold. That's cold. Cold. Warm. Cold. I turned the heating off there about an hour ago, but I don't know how the water's getting into that back boiler. As far as I can see, the water's coming. So they put all the pipes under the floor, so whenever the water leaves the boiler, the oil burner, I just don't know. All I know is boilers can overflow and need fed by a fresh supply, and that overflows plenty of times, so it's definitely getting a fresh supply somewhere. And all I can hope for is when it says flow and or return, that water doesn't get past this, so this pipe and all will empty out. That's all I can hope for. Whether that's the way or not, time will tell. If it's still leaking in a week's time, it's getting water in somewhere. I'm fed up having to solve problems, I'm getting too early to solve problems. Something between cables and my tow bar not working in the car, the amount of stuff I've done in this last 12 months, I don't know what I'm doing half time like. I have to work it out, because you're working with somebody else's stuff. If I had plumbed that up myself at the start, I would know how it works. You've no idea how somebody has plumbed this up, and it's all under the floor. No way of knowing. The boy who plumbed it, the boy who installed this is dead years ago. The boy who done this house up, he's no longer living. He must be dead maybe 10-15 years. I don't know when he died, but that's the boy who paid the boy who done the work. So to find out who done the work and how it was done, it's impossible. And it's a 11:30 at night now. This is the setup I have now. Do you know there's a thing on TV one time where a boy took sick on a plane, and there's a doctor aboard, there's a doctor, he couldn't breathe, and the doctor gets a knife and cuts a hole in your man's throat to get air in his windpipe. Now, it's an operation that can be done if you know what you're doing, like, but it looks drastic. But this is similar. This is similar. As far as plumbing goes, I have just cut a hole in the throat to keep this thing alive. And so there's the pump there now. The pump is not working right. It's one of these bilge pumps that works with the wee float. I have tied it up. I've tried different things, bricks and everything. It will not turn off. It'll work at a swimming pool. It's not going to work in this bowl of water here. So I've tied it all up permanently. I have programmed the smart plug over there now. It's coming on every 2 hours for 1 minute. I've cut the water as best I can using these gutter pipes. A wee bit may get past, but if you see the first gutter pipe there, there's a message up my phone. I see, I'm trying to multitask. I can't see what I'm taping now because the message on my phone. So there's a bit of water going that one. The bottom one's getting the most of it. You know what? I need to go spotlight in this here. In this torch. So you see the water now, the leak's up at the top, the bottom gutter's getting the most, and the problem I'm finding, you know when you got a drip, I was trying to get a drip to, I'm trying to hold the, because I tell you what, it's hard doing this, you know. There's the drip in there now, like. So she's pushing out pretty quick now, like. But as water pressure changes, a drip can move from side to side. That's not leaking there, the leaking's up above. So it's leaking above onto that plate, down onto that plate, and onto there. And there's a tiny wee bit getting past. See the drops, so that'll catch the drops. So there's the water coming off the gutter now. You see the top one's not catching a big lot now. The bottom one is catching most of it. I need a new living in one anyway. I need a new floor. So I drilled a hole in the floor because it's a bay window. I'm able to drill out a hole in the floor. The hole's too big, didn't have about the right size. So I drilled a hole. I said, cutting a hole in the boy's throat, like, it's life or death. I don't want the whole house to flood. So if I'm going to knock down this chimney brace and all here, if I'm knocking all that down, I'm going to put a new floor on anyway and patch up the roof. Here's my other phone now. So this is basically what's going to happen now. There we are. See, I'm between some cars at the minute. I'm between two phones. That's awkward as anything. So that's the app now that's working that smart plug. So as soon as I hit on now, the pump goes on. So that pump is going to pump for a minute. Doesn't matter if it's empty. If the water's empty, it's going to go for a full minute. I pump the water outside. And when I was trying to earlier on, what was happening was the water was siphoning out. Whenever the water's right deep, it actually siphons out. So that's probably as low as it's going to pump now. But if it gets up higher, it'll pump quicker, like, and I say once it goes off, it'll siphon out. No, stop pumping out yet. It's getting down the bottom now. So she's going to run dry. She's going to run dry like that. But I say the timer then, I'll turn it off after a minute. So it's 7 minutes now. Oh, I hit the wrong button. How to stop this now? Where did it go? Where's my button to switch it off and on? See, I have it programmed in this phone I'm filming with. I don't have a... Oh, what disaster now, disaster. How did I get up on this phone? I came up to Alexa, you see. I'm going to stop this taping now to turn it off, because the button's on this phone I'm on at the minute. Everything's back to normal. See, I have the app on this phone I'm filming with. That's the spare phone. And just Alexa brought it up. I thought, well, I could tape pushing the button. I have Alexa played up on me. I'm not bothered about Alexa. You get the idea now, like. So, if that's not getting a feet of water from anywhere, then that should run dry. You see that I mean? Now that's the problem there now, you see. That drip was in the middle of the gutter. Now it's going to the side of the gutter. And that's the problem I'm going to have. Is trying to make sure the drip hits the gutter. That's why I end up using two. I can move during the night. You know yourself, if you've got if you're spraying water out of a hose and it's going quick and then you slow it down the spray speed, the water will come out different and run down your arm. So if that is emptying it, as the pressure drops down, then the water pressure will get smaller and that's going to affect how it drips. And if it goes really, 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 really slow, it can end up missing altogether. I don't know. There's no real way. Ideally, you try and get a metal tray way up at the top where the actual leak is. The gutter can't fit up in there. But even the leak up the top's not there. The leak's on the very, very, very top. But I'll tell you what I was thinking here. You see that? These floorboards are wet. The water's coming up through the floorboards. I thought Luna paid us all at Christmas time. Paid the mat. The mat was soaking. Couldn't believe. But see how the hearth's dry. And I honestly think, I'm looking at that now, that hearth is sitting on top of that floor. Yeah, my boy owned this house before me. He built fireplaces. And I think he has set that on the wooden floor. And that's why you have no white beading on it, you know. You see the water coming up. The water's coming up through the floorboards. And even though I've dried it, there's still water. Now, the first container of water I put here, we thought there was a hole in the bottom. The floor was wet. So we changed container, but there's still water coming out from underneath that. So there's water underneath these boards now, like. So how they put a new floor on now. This is the only floor that hasn't got lino, all the rest have got lino. I'm on my bed, aren't I? What else can I do? I'll be happy when it gets to 12 o'clock and that starts up the cell and switches off. I'll do no more now. I said the plan is if that drips all week and keeps on dripping, when I get it working Friday, I'm ripping that fireplace out. If it breaks, it breaks. And I'm getting the pipes. I'm going to drain the whole heating system, oil heating system and all. I'm going to cut them pipes, rip the boiler out, cap the pipes off, and then refill the system with water, and then at least the oil will go. And then I'll see about knocking that down then come the summer holidays. So I'll have to find out how I'm going to get the roof fixed. I can plaster the roof myself, but I put a piece of plasterboard on, but I can't plaster the roof. But I might even bother plastering the roof. In my mother's house, I put a fancy roof on. So if I put the plasterboard on, because the plasterboard's fireproof, so you put the plasterboard on first, but I might just make a fancy roof in here then, and that'll save me paying for a plaster. Well, it's 11:30 now. Get a quick shower now. It's coming up to 12 o'clock now. This is supposed to go on at 12 o'clock, this pump, and turn off at 1 minute past 12. And it's to do that every 2 hours. Put some extra towels down there in case that wee blue thing over that there, look. There you see, automatic. So it's to go for 1 minute and then just shut down. There's 30 seconds gone. Whenever it's full, it pumps out a lot quicker. And the bit near the bottom is sucking in there. So, as long as it goes for a minute, right. And I get a minute every hour to be on the safe side. But I'll see what the height's like in the morning when I get up. And if it's anywhere higher than what it is now, it should go at 8 o'clock. Then I'll change it to 2 minute run time. So it's gone for a minute there now. So we'll give it a try at that. Bedtime now. This is the following morning now. It's 8:30. The pump itself is working well. It starts up every hour. It's taking the water out. But this wee roses tin was also filling up. There was too much water missing. I've emptied it. I emptied it this morning at 5 o'clock, and I emptied it again now just at 8 o'clock. There's no way that would go 12 hours if it overflowing, because the drip up here moves. So what I've done now, I don't know if this phone's getting it. What I've done now is I put a dishcloth in there. The dishcloth is now catching, like a wick on a candle or a wick on an oil lamp. So we're putting the cloth in there, and the cloth touching the top. As the water creeps across, hits the cloth, and then comes back down again. And that seems to got 99% of it now. You wouldn't see a drip there. If the odd time you get a drip, see like that wee one up there, you get a wee drip here and there, but then there's only wee drips like. But I think that cloth now is working well. I put it on dry, it wasn't working 100%, but I was a bit worried in case it would fall. But now it's what I see a wee drip there now. Very, very odd one. So I don't think that's a problem. I've got towels here, I've that out towel there. So I think that's going to solve that there now, like. But it doesn't seem to be running any slower than it was to start, so it must be still getting full up with water. That's going to do like that. That's going to stay like that all week. I don't know why I can pull a fireplace out now during the week and I'm working. Unless I get a very short day. If I get a very short day, I'll attempt it. Once I need somebody else to grab the other side of the fire surround to get it out. Once I get the fire surround out, I'll get up the pipes of the boiler. And then Saturday afternoon is the only time the plumber's open. Saturday morning is the only time he's open. Unless maybe I get a part and screw fix. Once I cut down pipes, I need to cap it off. So that's a weekend job. So this weekend that fireplace is coming out. But definitely the wee pump's working now. The pump itself is useless. That switch is not working right. It's supposed to sit in the bottom of a basement. When that switch goes down, it's supposed to switch off. When it goes up, it's supposed to switch on. It's not sensitive enough. It would work if it was in double the depth of that. It would work. But not as it is. But I've tied up with cable ties and that's doing the job. That red bucket's doing nothing now. I was just using that to empty that wee blue one. But the water's clear enough down that blue one, I can just store it in there. I'll get wee Luna walk down. See what a wee paw's like this morning. It was a bit sore yesterday.